Determined to keep the spending spigot open, even as they push tax hikes on the so-called rich. And does it make sense?
Joining us now are two giants in the pantheon of business in the United States, Mike Jackson, the CEO of AutoNation, and Wayne Huizenga. He is the only person in history to have built 3 Fortune 1000 companies practically from scratch. He's also a board member of the Overcoming Obstacles program, about which we will speak in just a few moments. But, Wayne, I want to first talk about inflation because it does affect people's spending habits. The Wall Street Journal had a piece about automobile tires, something that affects AutoNation very directly, about how, because of the fact that their supplies are going to go up, they're going to have to eventually pass that on to consumer. Are you concerned about inflation?
Sure, everyone's concerned about inflation. But, Mike, when you talk about the automobile tires and how that's going to affect your business.
Well, I think in the near term, the concern's not inflation, but rather deflation. And that's what the mindset that's taking root out there that has to be fought in the near term. And the long term, yeah, inflation's a challenge. And there you come back to the federal deficits. You can't continue to run the type of deficits that we are without stimulating dramatic inflation. So we have a near-term problem to get this economy moving, and that's deflationary. And in the long term, we're going to have to worry about inflation.
All right. Well, Mike and Wayne, let's do a little debate here. So, Wayne, Mike says deflation. Wayne, some on Wall Street say all that money printing could just end up overseas in emerging markets. Maybe we won't see inflation here, even though we're seeing, some food and gas price issues. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's a matter of a wait and see. Like we say, we're worried about inflation, we're worried about deflation. So I'm not sure exactly where that's going to go. We're just going to have to sit by and see where it goes.
Mike,
one thing that's sure is there's mass confusion and a lack of confidence, and there's not a roadmap out of the very tough economy that we have right now. And the administration has to take accountability and responsibility for that. The stimulus package was ill-conceived and ill-structured, did not have the impact that it said it would. They pivoted and expanded entitlements and did health care and have been talking for 2 years about raising taxes in the middle of the Great Recession. And all of that has caused a crisis of confidence that's holding back this recovery. So I see this upcoming midterm election as the pivotal moment as to whether we're going to be dealing with deflation, inflation, get this economy moving again or not.
Well, Mike, let's talk about the two things you mentioned, the tax increases, which the president still wants on the top 2 to 3%, and more stimulus spending, which you said was ill-conceived in the first one, or at least the second or third one, all of the stimulus spending. What happens if the president gets his way? We have more stimulus and more taxes.
Well, that's exactly the wrong recipe for this economy. I have to tell you, quite frankly, in leading this recovery, if we wake up after these November elections and Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, and Barack Obama are still in charge of leading this recovery, that's going to be a problem, because the recipe cannot be more stimulus and more taxes. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. They haven't demonstrated the ability to do stimulus correctly, and the idea of raising taxes in a recession on anyone or anything, whether it's capital or high-income earners, is exactly the wrong thing. So we're really at a pivotal moment coming up on these midterm elections as to which way this is going to go.
Wayne, I want to hear about your charity. Can you tell us more about that?
Overcoming Obstacles is a great organization. It was started 19 years ago by Jill and John Chalsty, and it's all about young kids getting the proper education. It's all about communication, decision-making, and goal-setting skills for these kids that they need to have in order to be successful later in life. So far, over 2 million kids have gone through this program, and it's a fantastic program, fantastic organization, Overcoming Obstacles, and my wife and I support them heavily, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Wayne, as you may know, giving to charity has gone way down in the past year, partly because, of course, the economy. It's gone down, I think, about 11% over the past 12-month period. There have been some talks about reducing the amount that you could deduct of your charitable giving from your taxes. I would assume that you'd oppose that idea.
No question about it. If giving is going down, that'll only make it worse. And so I think now's the time you know, where so many people are in need. I think I can speak for my wife and I. Our foundation has increased its spending this year because there's more organizations in need.
Wayne Huizenga, philanthropist and founder and board member, actually, of Overcoming Obstacles, and Mike Jackson, CEO of AutoNation. Great to have you both on, gentlemen, for your views. Really appreciate it.
David, good to be here today.
Thank you.